The three-member cat family lived happily in a cozy little house. Cat Dad John was a police officer, while Cat Mom Luna was a homemaker. Although their kitten Tom was mischievous, he was also very lovable. John often had to be away from home on duty, ensuring the safety of the citizens. He was a brave police officer, known for his encounters with notorious robbers, especially the infamous gang of ruthless rats. This gang had committed numerous terrible robberies, disturbing the peaceful lives of many residents. One day, while John was on duty far away, the rats suddenly appeared near the cat family's house. They secretly observed and plotted to kidnap the mother and son as revenge for the many times John had thwarted their plans. One late afternoon, while mother and son were playing inside, the rats suddenly broke in. They overpowered the two, tied them up, and dragged them into a car they had prepared. Luna and Tom were terrified, begging for mercy, but the rats were cold and unmoved. As the car sped down a forest road, little Tom was thrown out of the window. Being small and frail, he couldn't survive the horrific fall and died instantly. John was on duty when he received an urgent call reporting the abduction of his wife and son. With tears in his eyes, he immediately sped off to rescue them. His heart pounded with overwhelming fear and anguish. Upon reaching the forest road, John found his son's lifeless body lying cold by the roadside. He jumped out of the car, clutching his son tightly, crying out in unbearable grief as tears streamed down his face. The pain of losing his child shattered John's heart, but he knew he still had to save his wife. His steps became fast and powerful, driven solely by hatred for the merciless rats. He followed their tracks, moving deeper into the rats' hideout in the forest. When he spotted Luna tied up inside the lair, John couldn't hold back anymore. He immediately opened fire, taking down each rat one by one. The robbers screamed and fled, but none could escape John's fury. After a fierce battle, every rat was defeated. John rushed to free his wife. Luna, still shaken, was relieved to see her husband. But upon hearing of their son's death, she collapsed in indescribable sorrow. Though John had saved his wife, he had lost his beloved child. From that day on, the cat family lived with the memory of their son and a deep resentment towards the criminal gang. In a rundown corner of the city, where dilapidated houses crowded together, there lived a small kitten named Milo. Milo was an orphaned cat, living in an abandoned house with his scruffy fur. Unlike the other cats in the neighborhood, Milo had no one to love or care for him. Because of his shabby appearance and poverty, Milo often became the target of bullying by the neighborhood cats. Every day, they came up with all kinds of mischievous ways to tease Milo. Sometimes, they pushed him into dirty puddles. Other times, they threw sand into his eyes. And at times, they even took away the little food he managed to scavenge from the trash cans on the streets. Milo always tried to endure in silence, quietly avoiding those mean cats. One day, after Milo was lying by the roadside following a terrible bout of bullying, a police cat named Max happened to walk by on his patrol. Max noticed Milo, his eyes tired and full of despair. The police cat Max stopped, gently picked Milo up, and brought him to the police station. There, Max took care of Milo, feeding him a hearty meal and letting him sleep in a warm bed. Gradually, Milo began to feel the safety and warmth he had never known before. Max was not just the one who rescued him from his harsh life, but he also taught Milo valuable lessons about courage and justice. Milo decided to turn his life around and dreamed of becoming a police cat like Max to protect the weak. Years passed, and Milo had grown up. He was no longer the weak, scruffy little kitten. He had become a strong, smart, and decisive police cat. One day, while on patrol, Milo came across the same group of cats that used to bully him. They were still troublemakers, causing chaos in the neighborhood and picking on smaller cats. But this time, Milo was no longer the helpless kitten he once was. He swiftly apprehended them and took them to the police station. Those mean cats were now punished for their malicious actions. Milo looked at them, not with hatred, but with forgiveness, understanding that anyone can change. In the end, Milo became a symbol of courage and kindness in the neighborhood. He always remembered Max, the one who saved his life, and he continued down the path of justice, helping other vulnerable cats just like he once had been. Father, Cat Liam, was a famous fighter, always admired for his skills and resilience in the ring. Little kitten Leo frequently watched his father's matches, filled with pride as he saw his dad win again and again. In an important match, Liam's opponent was a dangerous and cunning fighter. The fight was extremely intense, with both sides attacking fiercely, neither willing to give an inch. Suddenly, the opponent played dirty, throwing a sneaky punch to Liam's stomach when the referee wasn't looking. Liam collapsed onto the ring, writhing in pain, trying to get back up, but no longer having the strength. From the stands, Leo screamed, his eyes filled with horror and fear as he watched his father being defeated. In the end, Father Liam died in the arms of his teammates, right there in the ring. Leo's heart shattered, and with clenched fists, he vowed to become a great fighter to avenge his father. From that day forward, the young kitten trained day and night, undeterred by hardship or pain. He swore he would never let the same thing happen to anyone he loved. Years passed, and the kitten grew up, becoming a skilled fighter with extraordinary strength and abilities. One day, he encountered the opponent who had killed his father, now an aging veteran fighter. The match between the two was filled with tense stares, with hatred burning in Leo's heart. The brutal fight dragged on, and Leo recalled the image of his father collapsing, fueling his determination. Finally, Leo delivered the decisive punch, defeating the one who had killed his father. The opponent fell to the ground, and Leo stood there amidst the crowd's roaring cheers, feeling relief, but still haunted by the pain. Leo had avenged his father, but he realized that true victory wasn't about hatred. It was about inner strength. He walked out of the ring, carrying the pride of having fulfilled what his father had always wished for. Lily and Luna, a mother cat and her kitten, were on their way out for a fun day together. Suddenly, Luna remembered that she had forgotten her favorite toy on the grass. Without saying anything to her mother, Luna quickly opened the car door and stepped out to retrieve her forgotten toy. Lily didn't notice Luna had left the car. She looked in the rearview mirror and thought everything was fine. She pressed the gas and the car began to move. Luna panicked as she saw her mother's car driving away. The little kitten started running after it, her tiny, unsteady feet stumbling as she tried to catch up. Her faint calls didn't reach her mother's ears. Tears streamed down Luna's face as her fear grew stronger. The more she ran, the more exhausted she became, but she kept chasing the car as it got farther away. As she reached the main road, Luna barely set foot on the street when a truck came speeding toward her. The screeching sound of brakes filled the air, but sadly Luna was hit and flung into the air. Her small body fell silently to the ground. Up ahead, Lily suddenly stopped the car, realizing the eerie silence inside. Immediately, she turned the car around and sped back to find her kitten. She drove frantically, her heart pounding with dread as an overwhelming sense of unease washed over her. When she finally saw the small figure lying motionless in the road, her heart shattered. Lily leapt out of the car, ran to her daughter, and cradled Luna in her arms. She sobbed uncontrollably, her anguished cries echoing across the empty road. Everything around her blurred, leaving only the unbearable pain in the heart of a grieving mother.